So about a month and a half ago, I went on Temu with the objective of building the cheapest possible PC that I could. And I did. For whatever reason, they shipped this case, even though it's rather small, by sea. So that's the reason why it's taken a month and a half to get this PC done. And that's really all you need to know about this video. So let's build a piece of So starting with our motherboard, we have the Maxsun Challenger AMD AM4 A520. Ooh, we actually get an I/O shield. Nice. Seemingly used wrapping. It's quite dirty. Ew. So isn't that a neat little looking board right there? The Maxsun Challenger A520MK. This board was $70. Technically, I could have gone cheaper actually. There was an MSI A520M for, well, $54, but because it was an MSI Pro, which, I mean, I literally had the B550M MSI Pro, so I know that's a pretty decent board. So I felt like that kind of would have been taking the easy way out, and that's not really a true Temu PC, so we went with this Maxsun Challenger. That sucks. This is a A520, and there's no 5-volt RGB headers on this entire thing, so it really sucks we're not going to be able to take full advantage of our infinity fans. But I definitely want to get this tested first before I get it mounted into the case, so let's go ahead and put the rest of the stuff in the motherboard here. The RAM came in this amazing, integrity-inspiring package that came all the way from China, so I'm sure there's totally nothing wrong with this. Oh yeah, that's just great packaging, but it looks fine. I think, yeah, it'll be fine. So at least we got our 8 gigs DDR4, but this was supposed to be 2 4-gig sticks, and it's only one, so great. Looks like we're going single channel. But hey, it's a Temu PC. Oh, it's not a bad click at least. Now, Temu doesn't actually sell CPUs, so I had to do the next best thing. So I took to eBay and found the cheapest AM4 CPU I possibly could. A Ryzen 3 1200 quad core, baby. And yes, it did come from China. Wow, this latch is terrible. This board is so low quality that it didn't even come with a standoff or an NVMe to lay flat. But luckily our NVMe came with this little baggie with a standoff, some screws, and a screwdriver. And that's why I choose cushion. Fast, superior, reliable, and it feels good on your bum. We need a little standoff so that our cushion can have some cushioning. I'll see myself out. Now the graphics card, because it showed up in this box all smushed, we actually did a full video on a few weeks ago all about this card. And I had mentioned that I wanted to get something that was at least capable of testing it out with Dark Souls 3 because I wanted to play the new Dark Souls Archthrones mod. And this thing did not disappoint, if the objective was to disappoint. Because it turned out that this is not an RX 580, it's an RX 470. But it definitely makes up for being an RX 470 instead of the RX 580 that I bought by having this wicked sweet keyboard backplate. Just listen to that click. Oh yeah. Let's see if it clicks any better in this board. Lame. And when it came to the power supply, that's another thing that Temu doesn't actually sell. So I just took to Amazon, I sorted by the lowest price, and I picked the very first thing I found that said gaming on it, and it didn't take too long. The ES Gaming 700 watt PSU. Not 80 plus anything. It just is. Oh wow, look at that. That is primo packaging right there. A jumbled mess inside a piece of plastic. This could probably survive a nuclear holocaust, honestly, inside this plastic wrapper. That's how strong this stuff really is. Not too many people know that, by the way. Now you do. You're welcome. Oof. Oh boy, that is just a thing of beauty. There's nothing I love more than a jumbled mess of cables. Really tickles my fancy. And when it came to the cooler, as you can see, I ended up getting 2 because I wasn't sure that this tower one was going to fit in this tiny little case, but it does look like it's going to, which is good because this low profile one that I got did not come with any other brackets, and this is clearly an Intel bracket, so this isn't going to work at all. Now, this cooler was as cheap as it gets. It was free. Literally, they gave me a free item for the purchase of the motherboard. And by the looks of it, that's the level of performance we can expect from it. But it's only going up against a little quad core. We could cool that by blowing on it. And when it came to the thermal paste, I spared no expense. But there's only one problem. One of these is fake. Can you tell which one? The signs are there. And I find it quite hilarious that they went through this level of detail on the packaging, and even both included a certificate of authenticity. But there's an easy way to tell. So one of the ways to tell would be by the color. Real Thermal Grizzly is more of a bluish, kind of light gray color. Kind of looks like a cloud color. Whereas the fake stuff over here is quite dark and dark gray. Pretty easy to spot. But if that's not easy enough for you, just look for the one that says Violent Bear, made in China. And it's obviously fake. So this is probably the only time you're ever gonna hear me say Thermal Grizzly. I want that Violent Bear. This puny little cooler doesn't even cover the whole CPU. Alright, here we go. Place your bets. 1. Granted. Let's try the other slot. Let's try again. Alright, either this RAM is broken, this motherboard hates it, or it just doesn't want to operate with only one. So let me go ahead and get some RAM that I know works, and I'll be right back. Alright, now this RAM I know definitely works because I just used it to test the system with last night. So let's see if we can get this red light to go off and actually boot this thing. Alright, here we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and try putting the RAM that I know is good back in, populating both slots, try clearing the CMOS. Obviously, a cheap motherboard like this doesn't have a BIOS flash, so we can't do that. I know the CPU is good because I've already tested that with another board. Obviously, we did a whole video on the card. We know the graphics card's good. Obviously, we're getting power. So we might just be out of luck here, unfortunately. Well, I guess we're out of luck. I can't get past the DRAM light no matter what. I've tried it without the CPU in here, and it doesn't even try to turn on without the CPU. It won't even pull power at all. I've tried multiple RAM kits. We know the card works, but I tried another card off camera. I mean, I don't know why the card would be giving us a DRAM light to begin with, but I mean, I took the hard drive out, I tried that, and I don't know. If you guys have any other suggestions, let me know. But I guess let this be a lesson to you why you should never buy PC parts on Temu. And looking at their website, my guess is if I get this BIOS right here, it might work with a Ryzen 3 1200, but I don't have a chip flasher and there's no way to get this thing into the actual BIOS to flash said BIOS, so at this point, I think I'd rather just go ahead and return this board and get my money back. But I did promise you a crappy quad-core PC, and luckily, like most of us, I wasn't always a responsible adult that made good choices. And before I wised up and started taking life seriously, I was really broke. So back in 2018, when my laptop died and I really wanted to switch over to a desktop, I ended up with the cheapest motherboard CPU bundle I could possibly find. It's an MSI B250M Pro VD and an i5 7600. Not even a 7600K, it's just a 7600. So obviously I already know this works because I really didn't use it for very long before I ended up building what would eventually become the giveaway build. Now both the 7600 and the Ryzen 3 1200 were both released in 2017. The 7600 coming out in January 2017 and the Ryzen 3 1200 coming out in July 2017. And when it comes to the specs of those two CPUs, both are also quad cores and both have about the same 3.4, 3.5 gigahertz speed. So all that being said, really, this should give us pretty much the exact same performance as we were going to get with the Temu board. So since I know it already works, just go ahead and pop it into the case. Now, unfortunately, neither of those Temu coolers actually fit the LGA 1151 socket, so I'm just gonna have to use this old orange one that I got back with this bundle when I bought it in 2018. And this paste is just some TF7 that came with the thermal prism that I bought a while ago. Alright, let's get our 1 RAM stick back in. Alright. Let's see how bad this case is gonna be. Lovely, lovely cardboard. Wow, that styrofoam is just... Whew. I'm glad to see they used the best foam. Oops. Oh yeah, this feels so sturdy. Oh, look at that. Ooh, you nice and hollow. Ooh, gotta love that. I think we're gonna save the peel for the end. Look at all that ventilation. It actually is open and ventilated, so that's good. That's good, I'm glad. What is this called? The He Start. Yeah, I hope He Start later on. I hate these cases that put the power supplies up on the top like this. It's awful. Oh, I see we got just one of these removable PCIe brackets. That's wonderful. These screws completely come out. Yep, they sure do. That's good. Not really. I don't even think that's not even plexiglass. That's just straight plastic. That's just pure plastic. Oh, the back panel comes off too. That's good. Oh yeah. That's what I like to see right there. That is quality cheap. What are they expecting you to do cable management wise with that kind of space? That's like a centimeter, maybe a 1/4 inch. Come on, listen to that. Feels like it's just gonna get stuck at any moment. Unfortunately, I have no idea where the I/O shield for this thing is, so not like I'm gonna be mainlining this anyways. I should have used my extendable screwdriver. If only I had a screwdriver from lttstore.com. Psych, not paying $70 for no screwdriver. There we go. And we have a motherboard in case. Hooray! That's a really good thing that this motherboard is that like mini ATX, you know, where it's not as wide. Because if it was regular micro ATX, this wouldn't have even fit in here. And it said micro ATX, so. We got the front panel off here, so let's go ahead and put these, our infinity fans in there, which I don't think they're actually gonna light up. Who knows, because they are supposed to be 3-pin 5-volt, which this board also doesn't have, because B250s didn't have that. So I might be able to squeeze one in on the back. I don't know. Like, why would you have this much space and then limit it to an 80mm fan? That just doesn't really make much sense. I'll try it. We'll see if we can squeeze one there. Now, 2 of these that I bought are supposed to actually be reverse blades. So let's see which one is this. Good, they're daisy chainable because this only has one more fan header. Look at that, isn't it cool? If it wasn't for that, like, this would be such a straight up ripoff. I mean, it still is like an absolute, just straight up Lee and Lee Infinity fan ripoff, but oh well. Isn't it wicked cool, man? All right, so I was able to get one on the back pretty easily. Fans are all on, so let's go ahead and get the power supply in, wire it all up, graphics card, and we'll boot this bad boy. God, I can really tell that these twisty ties were put on by little Chinese hands. Little Chinese hands. God, little strong Chinese hands. Holy cow, these things are tight. Oy, oy, oy. And they're twisted like 100 times. Why you do this? I swear, like, half of PC building is just undoing these twisty ties. Ay, ay, ay. So much crap. God, this is like the worst power supply mounting system ever. Never buy a PC case on Temu. I mean, I suppose like those, what are those things called? The Mucinex or whatever the brand is. Musitex. They're okay, but I still wouldn't recommend. It's better than this, that's for sure. Anything's better than this. Oh god, that just looks so bad. So since that there is literally the only other fan header on this thing other than the CPU fan header, I think I'm actually going to take advantage of the fact that I can't find the I/O shield, because otherwise it's bring it straight across the board or down there or something. And honestly, I don't know if I'm even going to be able to get the back panel onto this thing. Obviously I don't want to leave all the wires just dangling there, even if it is just a Temu PC that I'll probably never use again. And there she is, the Temu Crapper 5000. Ta-da! Yeah, we're definitely not going to get that back panel back on, so let's just fire it up. Oh man, I almost forgot about the peels. Not very satisfying. Oh, it's only on one side, and it's all scratched. Nothing like when the ad says tampered glass, but it's totally plastic, and if you can see, it's already pretty scuffed and scratched. Excellent. But hey, this case was what, $22? I know technically putting the side panel on is bad juju, but this isn't a new build. Remember, I already know this motherboard and everything works, and I even tested it last night, so. Isn't it ugly as hell? Here we go. Well, LEDs on the front works, but yeah, we're not gonna get any of the fan lights, unfortunately. So it turns out it was bad juju to go ahead and put the case on. Actually, if you see, I had to go ahead and change the RAM. Turns out, big shocker, surprise, surprise, Temu RAM was bad. We weren't getting an image. I tried a different GPU at first, and that still didn't give us an image, so then I swapped the RAM and it booted right up, so yeah. Not a big shocker there. So yeah, now we're all up and running. I'm gonna go ahead and get Windows installed. It's gonna be Windows 10 since 7th gen Intel can't run Windows 11. I mean, it probably could, it's just not compatible with Windows 11. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get Windows 10 installed. We'll get some games going, and then we'll see how bad this thing is. And the sad thing is, this being my motherboard and CPU from 2018, the RX 70 is not that far off from what I had, so I've come a long way. Alright, so let's take it easy on the poor girl to start. Let's just start with Grand Theft Auto here. Nice 2013 game for this Frankenstein of a PC. Not bad at all. Wow, that is much better than expected. And we're, I guess you could say we're in like 1440 medium, I guess. I don't really like using presets. We're like somewhere between texture settings, so I guess you could call that medium in this case. It's a pretty steady 60, honestly. It's kind of hovering between like 56 and 62, but it's feels good. It's nice and smooth.
There ain't no one around. That suits us. Come on, get up to the roof.
I'm coming. Oh. Well, that's why I was a second baseman. Athletic Franklin, Athletic Franklin. No, boy! I feel like I'm in the Italian Job right now, but with dirt bikes instead of Mini Coopers. I wasn't doing anything in there. Alright, so clearly it can handle games from 2013 okay. I mean, it's not amazing, but it is a solid, 60 FPS. It's nice and smooth. This is definitely a steady 60, but let's go ahead and give it something a little tougher. I think I'm gonna play a game that I feel like kind of went under the radar because I never really hear anybody talk about it, but let's go ahead and load it up. Alright, so let's go 10 years into the future of gaming here and play Atomic Heart. Let's see how it can handle this. It may smooth out once it's done. I don't know. It kind of did this while I was compiling shaders in my with the 3050 and the giveaway build. But once it was done, it smoothed out and it was fine. It was good to go. I actually played this whole game on high settings with the 3050. I'm definitely gonna have to play it from the beginning though, because I don't remember the controls at all. I haven't played this game since it launched back in February 2023. Honestly, better than I thought it would be, but not great.
We making for the speech.
If you guys never played this game, you should definitely check it out. It's pretty awesome.
Hey, number 3 is fault. I need these houses painted, but look at what they're doing instead.
I love it when Russian characters have British accents. That just makes it so more immersive. Alright. So it's not quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. Oh, that doesn't look good at all. Yeah. So I guess it's kind of playable, Like, again, I definitely wouldn't really want this to be my rig, but it'll do in a pinch. I remember when this game came out, dudes were in love with these robots, which is weird. Like, it's a robot. This is still 1440, by the way. I don't think this little quad core is really gonna handle 1080 too well. Oh, I shouldn't have just started the new game. This intro is taking forever. I just want to kill some robots. Thank God.
Ready to welcome new specialists from anywhere in the Soviet Union.
Brief core. Yeah. This game is basically iRobot in a Soviet era Russia. Use the Force, Luke. I remember in this intro you have to use a melee weapon for a little while actually, but after that it's all guns. There's some pretty crazy guns in this game too. It's funny how this just happened, but you find out this later on. This woman, she's like John Connor basically. She's the Terminator killer. This has been happening for years or something. Because somehow she was magically just prepared for all this to happen. Kind of lazy story writing. Yeah, that FPS definitely drops when there's lots of carnage going on. Ugh, that's not so good. FPS definitely goes up when you're inside, and this game, it's got some, I guess you could call them dungeons. I don't know. They're like little puzzle dungeons, and it's kind of where you get your weapon upgrades and stuff. So yeah, I could definitely see this being playable for somebody. I don't want it, but I think that's pretty much gonna do it for me tonight. Though I'm pretty tired. Gotta be up for work in the morning, so let's go ahead and just call it here. Alright, so was it any good? No, not really. But hey, at least it was capable of actually playing some games. It did suck that we had to swap out pretty much everything that made it run, being the CPU, motherboard, RAM, but at least we got to keep the original hard drive, and really the CPU and motherboard we replaced it with is pretty much the exact same thing we're gonna put in it before. So, really didn't change at all, really. But if you learned anything, hopefully you learned that you should never buy PC parts from Temu, because the fact that we had to swap things out because these brand new parts that I bought didn't even work, well, there you go. Don't buy PC parts from Temu. If you guys want to see more gameplay with this graphics card, we got a full video with just that graphics card alone. We'll have the link for that video down below in the description. And also leave the link for our free PC giveaway video, which you still have until November 31st to hit that subscribe button and become eligible to win that sweet gaming PC. So until then, we'll see you guys next time.